yeah, I can definitely show you guys how to make a cute little skirt like this. It's a full skirt. You can make whatever length you want, but this video is going to go from pattern all the way through to sewing. So one take, no part twos over here. Skirt pattern examples for every single different type. Are you ready to screenshot? Bessie, screenshot. Screenshot it. Screenshot it. Today we're going to be making the full skirt. That is the classic skirt that everybody is really loving at the moment. So I thought it'd be the best one to show you guys. But we need two measurements before we start. First is going to be the waist. Depending on where you're going to get your skirt to sit, I'm going to go with the smallest part right here, which is at 96 centimeters, the length of the skirt. I recommend going over your hips or your booty, depending on what your widest part is, because we want to make sure that it's going to fall nicely over those areas. I'm going to go for my hip, and Maddie measured this one for me before. So this is going to be 54 centimeters, which is 5 centimeters longer than our booty short. All right, let's draw this up.
The calculations are waist measurement divided by 2, and then that measurement divided by 3.14, or pi square. Grab a squaring ruler, go 15 centimeters down on each corner. That is going to create your waist measurement, and then you add the length from the bottom of that circle down. Now I am only creating half the pattern because it just makes it that little bit easier to work with, and I also want to show you guys how to add pockets if that's something that you want to do. Big tip here, make sure to add center points, because when you are freehanding those circles, it just makes it that little bit easier. But we also do fold the pattern in half just to fix up the edges if necessary. Now if you don't care for pockets and you want no seams on the skirts, you can still make the pattern like this. It's all just going to be dependent on how we cut it. Now remember besties, pattern making is meant to be fun. If you make a mistake, it's all good. You can literally just scrunch out the paper and start again. But look, I'm just fixing it up here because I didn't get the circle completely perfect, but who cares? It's good enough. Next is the waistband. It is your waist measurement divided by 2, and then if you're working with a stretch fabric, I recommend taking out measurements for the stretch. So I've taken 5 centimeters, but you can definitely take 10. With the length, I've gone for 10 centimeters long, so the band will be 5 centimeters. But if you want the band to be 7 centimeters, whatever, you just work out whatever size you want the band and then times it by 2. Next is cutting the pattern out. Now because I'm adding side seams, I'm only going to be cutting a quarter of the circle, but I'm folding the fabric in half and then not cutting down that edge, so when I open up, it's a full half a circle. Now, if you don't want the side seams, you would then just trace the pattern twice, so it would be that full semicircle, and you lay it on the folded edge, so then when you open it up, it's just a big circle with a circle cut out of the middle. With the band, you only have to cut this pattern out once. Fold the fabric in half again, and then cut out the back piece of your pattern. Here's another example of the other side. We're going to cut all edges except for the fold line. And there, pretty much bam shabam. Open it all up and it should look something like this. Lay 2 pieces on top of themselves, ready to sew down those straight edges. Now Ella's actually going to sew this one for me today because I needed to film, but we're going to sew down the edges of the waistband and then fold that in half, and then sew down the side edges of the skirt. Like I said before, you can add pockets to this step if you want to. Next, we add our notches, and we all love notches. So we're going to fold the band in half and do a center point, and then fold the skirt in half and do a center point. We don't need to do 4 because the side seams work as a notch themselves. Now remember, we find those notches, we pull to those positions and then sew. Grab the next notch and then pull to sew. You can obviously use pins, but this is how we sew, and it's what keeps us super quick. Also, shout out to Elle. She is so damn quick and so cute. What an angel. Next, we're sewing the hemline. I'm using a cover stitch machine, but you can definitely do a roll hem on the plain stitch. And that is it, ladies. Bam shabam, we have a full skirt. Let me know in the comments below what you want me to teach you how to sew next.